Awaken to your truth that you are the I Am presence in harmony with the divine. You are consciousness beyond what the body and mind identify. This is Moment to Moment. Host Lynda Hope will remind and enlighten you to know your divine nature. You were born into the body already aware, but forgot it as you expanded your sense of identity, ego mind, pattern behaviors, and habits. Stop sleepwalking and wake up to your timeless, eternal, formless self. Now, your host of Moment to Moment, Lynda Hope.
Hello, namaste, welcome wherever you are in this world. If it's day or evening, I just hope that you continue to stay tuned for this 60 minutes. We started a new time slot here. It's 8 o'clock Central, moved up a little bit so we can maybe reach some more market around the world a little bit easier. And we're going to have a new segment. The last 15 minutes is going to be Ask Hope. Yeah, that's me, Hope. But ask me. And it's a satsang. You know, I don't know if you've heard of satsang, but Muji uses it a lot. It's a conversation and it's questions. You can ask questions of me, and I hope to give you a very conscious answer. And this is really to clarify the points that we're covering. So if you have any questions at all during the show, please comment it. You can do it on Spotify, on Facebook, on all the platforms. I will see your comments and I'll get to as many as I can questions. But we're going to do that at a quarter to the hour. So we have 45 minutes to really jump in right now to a topic I know all of you will appreciate knowing more about. And that is how to quiet your monkey mind. How to quiet your monkey mind. Now, we all have monkey minds. Some of us are more than others. Some of us can see it more clearly because this is something that is near and dear to our hearts. To transcend, that's why you're listening, to transcend the body-mind experience of this person that is primarily who you thought you were, maybe all the way up to now. And that's all you knew, was that you were a person. But you're more deeper than that. You have a deeper dimension that is what? Consciousness. We are consciousness. Nothing happens without consciousness. And let me explain a little difference between a person who is conscious and consciousness. Now, consciousness is the deeper dimension. It is not identified with the person at all. It is not identified with your physical form, with your life and death cycle, and your pattern behavior. It is just now, presence in this moment, being aware and alert, and not in the mind. Stilling the mind will help you to fully realize this deeper dimension. So the less mind chatter you have, you know, the person is conscious, right? We are conscious, looking around going, oh, I see that. Isn't that nice? Da, 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 da. But that's not what I'm talking about, right? Because you can maybe see your mind chatter, or maybe you don't. Maybe this is the first time you heard, wow, I mean, I can actually witness my mind. I don't have to immediately think about something and react and react and react and react. That's what a monkey mind does. A monkey mind is a quick moving stream of thinking, and that all of a sudden it takes you away and it eclipses this place of presence. It takes you out of the present moment. The monkey mind is either regurgitating what happened yesterday or 2 minutes ago or last year or who knows. It's taking you into the past, or it's planning, projecting into the future, which of course, never happens because we always live now. It's always the now. Even when we're thinking about the future, it's always the now. Okay. So if you're caught up in mind activity, can you really be present? Can you really fully be engaged in now? I have to tell you this amazing experience I had this morning. I got up this morning and, well, it's a good start, right? I woke up, getting ready. I quickly just look out my window, and there is a hummingbird looking right at me, beak to nose, looking right at me from the window, hovering right in the same area as my eyes. I mean, it was crazy. And it sort of woke me up. I'm waking up in the morning and realizing more fully who I am, because out of sleep, you're sort of still in that sleep dream state. And you're not fully, conscious of the deeper the I am presence that you are, because you're now just starting to wake up. And all of a sudden that hummingbird just, there was my attention. Wow. So I hope every morning that hummingbird comes and wakes me up quicker every morning. But I'm going to help you now with some of my pointers. 17 ways, exercises for being present, and how you can do that first thing in the morning. These are things that I love to do in the morning consciously. And that's what it takes, a conscious awareness that as you are waking up and your eyes open from your dream state, and you look around the room, do you immediately jump out of bed? Right? Do you jump out of bed? Maybe take a breath. Take a breath, right? And open your eyes. So the first exercise is, upon waking, take that breath, say thank you for another day. Take that breath, say thank you, God, for this beautiful day. Thank you, universe. Thank you, source, right? Wake up to this beautiful exercise, okay? When you first wake up, sit up in bed and just breathe. Breathing gets you into your body, gets you into that state of presence. Breath is all about presence, noticing where it flows. One of the meditation exercises we used to do in Vipassana meditation was to notice when we breathe in where the coolness comes, in the breath. And sometimes we feel it right under our nose, and sometimes we feel it in our throats, the breath, the coolness of it. Especially when you take in a deep breath, you feel the coolness in your mouth, right? Those are things that we normally don't think about, do we? But when we are really alert, we see things we've not seen before, and we feel things we've not felt before. The experiences are heightened by our senses. Okay? So be as present, but without commenting. Without commenting. That is really being in the present moment. Because if you're not thinking about it and making comments about it, then you are now just in the experience. And if you do have these thoughts, go back to your breath in the first exercise and being grateful. Thank you for this beautiful day. Okay, that's number one. Number two, slow down and be alert with your morning rituals. Everybody's got them. I've got them. There's nothing that I enjoy more than my rituals in the morning. Ay. Don't you love it? Yes. But you can love it. If you just rush through it and you don't like them and you go, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to take my medicine? Or why do I have to blah, 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 whatever that is, brush my teeth, what a boring thing. Slow down. Slow down and be present. And let's say the first thing in the morning is you take a shower. What a great thing to do in the morning, right? Or at night. You sit under the water's streaming down your body, you feel the warmth of it. You take your soap, you slowly. This is about being slow. It's not about rushing through anything. Slow down. And you notice when you slow your activity down, your mind automatically slows down. Fine. It's such a beautiful thing to try that, to realize that. It's really amazing. So slow down and your mind slows down. It's sort of like when you just move that soap around your body, right? On your face and whatever, and just slowly breathe in and out and take your time. So that means, what does that mean? Getting up earlier in the morning. That's important. Waking up earlier in the morning so you can do these things without rushing and you can enjoy them. It's about joy, and we're all about joy here. So how can we bring more joy, alertness, awareness into our day? Another is, as you're brushing your teeth, right? Feel the toothbrush in your mouth. Feel it in there. Maybe it's an electric toothbrush, Feel that vibration. When you are taking medicine, take your medicine with the water. That's even better because then you realize what you're really taking. Sometimes we forget to take these things, right? And it's very important not to forget. So when you slow things down, you remember and you're fully aware that you are doing it correctly. And you're maybe using your toothbrush in a whole different way. Instead of just doing it really fast, you're doing it enough times to make a difference. And your dentist will really appreciate you. They'll go, wow, all of a sudden, no cavities. Yeah, could happen. All right, number 3, walk mindfully from room to room. Now, this can be very important to those who have balance issues. If you're hearing me and you realize it's one of you have balance issues, or remember how they say accidents happen within the home. By being mindful, accidents will not happen. You will have balance. You will increase your sense of space and also awareness of where you're walking. And if you see your foot one in front of the other, how your body is moving. And again, if you're doing it slowly, what happens to the mind? It slows down. And you focus more on moving spatially through the room and enjoying the walk, looking around you. And, maybe you haven't done that. And now you appreciate your surroundings more. Like, wow, it's actually a cool place. Right? So notice also how your mood is as you're walking through the rooms. Is my energy, am I alert? Am I awake as I'm walking? Or am I just walking, right? How's my body feeling as it's walking? Do I have any pains or stiffness in my body that I want to maybe stretch? Maybe I want to stretch. Or you might not have noticed that before. You might have just walked and, maybe you had a pain, but you really didn't focus anywhere on that. You didn't give it any attention. Sometimes it's okay to give your body attention and do some stretches and do things that are healthy for it. And this is why we're talking this way, because it's all about health and wellness and joy. Number 1, joy. Okay. Number 4, 4-7-8 breathing. Ooh, that is extremely important. 4-7-8 breathing is number 4. It's diaphragmatic breathing, and it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. It helps with relaxation. It slows down your anxiety and your stress. So when you take the breath, you take it 4 in. So take it in now through your nose. Hold it for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let it out through your mouth. 8. Do that 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let it out. 8. One more time. 4 in. Hold 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let it out. 8. Now, this exercise is important because it gives you that relaxed feeling after you're done. It really helps. I have a lot of friends that told me they do it right before they go to bed to help them sleep. And you can do it, of course, with your eyes open when you're driving. Let's say you're anxious or you're at work. You want to just go in the washroom and just do the breathing. You'll notice a big difference. So that brings alertness. It centers you, grounds you, right? And it connects you again to your body. So that's why you can be more present in the moment. And that's the presence that you feel in the moment reduces your stress. Do you follow what I just said? Because you are no longer in the monkey mind. You're in your breath. And all of a sudden, the clouds are parting. Wow. Wow, there's no clouds. There's no mind. Oh, wow. Nice space. Whew, feels good. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to go on to another body exercise. It's number 5. Scan your body to release tension. Yeah, so if you scan your body, you slowly from the tip of your head, and you just feel, sometimes I love to imagine the sun bathing me in light, just coming from my tip of my head and the sun rays just falling on my face and my hair, all the way down my shoulders, feeling the warmth of the rays all the way down my body. And as the rays of the sun, of the heat, just melts away all my tension, goes all the way down my legs, into the feet, and down into the floor. That's beautiful. Yeah. So I'm mindful right now that I need a drink of water. So remember to drink if you need to drink, especially if you live in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Oh, yes. You need to drink a lot. Okay. Number 6. Doodling can help focus your attention. I think we did this last week with Todd, the producer, and he loved it. And what it did is it allowed Todd to relax while he was doodling. In fact, he told me he heard my words even clearer than he did before, which meant that he wasn't in his mind chatter, that he was watching his hand doodling, and he had a quiet mind. And so he could really hear me better. Because if you have a lot of mind chatter, can you really hear somebody talking? I know I can't, because I get stuck in my head and my thoughts, and then I get into my emotions around the thoughts, and I totally am not in the room with somebody at that point. They could be talking to me. I won't hear them. Right. So be mindful that, any creative activity you really do gets you in the zone. As an artist, time used to fly by. We called it the peak experience. And I talked on my last show about creativity. When you are present in the moment and you're engaged in a creative act, you are in that peak experience. And yes, you have no clue what time it's going to be, and you don't care. And you are allowing yourself to be so focused in your activity that's why it's elevated you. Your energy is elevated. Your sense of intuitiveness is elevated. and you're beyond the mind body experience. You don't know what's going on around there. You're just so focused here. That's why you feel so good creating it. Okay, now watch on number 7, watch the excitement of babies and animals. Now this is so clear to me, because when I see babies light up, I'm sure everyone has had experiences around babies, right? And they look around in wonder and awe, and they're going, you know, they are, because this they're new, and they're new to every experience. And this is what being present is about, to be in the moment and be like a child in awe of what is happening around you. Eventually, you will get into that deep sense of that quiet stillness within, that all of this is going to unfold in a way that's never been for you before. And that's the newness, and that's the freshness, and that's the joy that arises from this alert presence, uh, that just takes you to a beautiful, blissful place. And you can witness that, of course. You know, all of these mindful practices have different levels of consciousness to it. In a way, you're sort of deepening it or elevating it, whatever conceptual word you want to use. What we're really talking about is you are consciousness before everything else. So when you're watching the baby being conscious, or you're looking at an animal being conscious, like, watching a cat, like, I have a cat that loves to watch the birds outside, and he gets really still, and then you see how he wants to pounce on them. Of course, he's a house cat. He can't get outside, but he's ready. You just are looking, you're just paying attention to them, and you feel a stillness. You feel a presence, right? From their presence. It's just like if you were around other people that were very conscious, your consciousness level would go up too, because they just emote that kind of aura about them. So that's why, watching people, being around people like that, animals like that, babies, informs who you really are, which is consciousness, because you're always that. And it just says, yeah, here I am. That's right. That's who I am. That's the real I am presence. Okay, number 8. Listen to the rain or the sound of birds. In listening, you feel a sense of stillness. And sometimes you can catch like the drops, but then there's a pause between the rain, right? Like, oh, wait, yeah. It's a pause between the drops, the rain, and the birds chirping and singing, and then all of a sudden it's quiet. And then they're chirping again. And if you can really tune into that stillness between it, oh, wow. That's who you are again. That's stillness. So try that. Okay, number 9. I love this one because when I was on retreats, I've been on many silent retreats, and they're all of them are so special. But the one thing I really enjoyed most was eating, the eating part. And I would take the food, and it was pretty much the same food every day, but I would eat it in a different way. And I would arrange it on my plate in a different way. I'd take a hard-boiled egg, and I'd slowly peel off the shell. And then I'd put the shell, each of the pieces, on my plate like a mosaic, and start putting a pattern together with I was just having so much fun. Then I slice up my little banana, and I sort of put it where I thought I would like to design it on my plate. And I would first do that, and then I'd start eating it. And I had such fun with it. So, what's to say you can't do that? Yeah. But I also loved eating in a way that was so slow and deliberate. Again, slow slows down your mind. So as you take that bite, small bite, and you put it in your mouth, and without biting into it, and just hold it there, and just roll it around your mouth, and see, is it sweet? Is it sour? what's the taste? Tart. What is it? And then see which parts of your tongue are activated, because you have taste buds that activate different parts of, if it's sour or sweet or salty, the tongue is activated with that. And so parts of the tongue are more salty, parts of the tongue are more sensitive to the sweet. And so notice that. And then take a bite, and then slowly bite it, let it dissolve, and then trace it as it's going down your neck. Can you feel that going down your neck and dissolving and going into your stomach? Maybe feel that for a while, the food doing that. All right. Now, it can take a long time to eat. Absolutely. I think my longest record was an hour to eat my breakfast. But I really, really fully enjoyed it. And one thing to do also is to put your utensil down in between your bites. So when you take a bite, put your utensil down so you can pay attention to what you're eating and how you're feeling as you're eating it. What's also good is you will never overeat with this, because your body will tell you when you get full. Because if you rush through food, it's been documented, it's shown that if you race through food you're eating, your body does not signal that you're full until you've overeaten, and then you are bloated and uncomfortable. So this is the anecdote. You can eat slowly, and then your body will naturally tell you, I'm done. And you stop. It's a great benefit, yes. And if you can eat without somebody talking to you or you talking to somebody else, that's better. Then you can really focus on the joy of the food. Okay. And you're also going to be eating nutritionally good food for you, because you'll feel better. You're going to recognize what food feels better in your body than others. And you'll begin to eat more properly. You'll be eating energetically. In other words, you'll be eating food, plant-based food, maybe that's better for your body than all the other crazy food that's who knows what's in it, right? So if you can eat cleaner, your body's going to feel better, and you're going to crave that. The more mindful you are. Okay. All right. Number 10, walk in nature. Now, walking is great exercise, right? But it's not about running or walking fast and getting your body. Yeah, you can do that, sure. But the faster you walk, the mind's going to keep going faster and faster and faster. You're not going to enjoy your surroundings. You won't even see it, most of it. And you're going to probably not be present. And so when people say, well, I'm very mindful when I'm running. Yeah, you can be. You can be, if you're set your mind to that. Say, I'm going to pay attention to how my legs move. I'm going to feel into my body, how it's feeling as I'm running. I'm going to look around me. Yes, then you're being mindful as a runner. Yes, then you can be very present. But I'm saying for those who have a hard time being present at all, go in nature, walk slowly, no cell phones, nobody walking next to you to start talking with you. Walk mindfully in a place that you can just enjoy the beauty and stop and smell the roses, right? And walk on the grass in bare feet. And look around you and smell what the air is bringing your way, and listen to the birds. And if you want, take a journal with you and sit on a park bench and start writing how you're feeling and how you're engaging and what newness you're seeing now for the first time, if any. So, all that keeps you present. Okay. All right. And 11, listen to Muji or Eckhart Tolle. Try a guided meditation. You can find them on YouTube. Meditation, guided meditation, which I've done also on my shows, it allows you to quiet your mind. As we're talking about monkey mind, that's another reason why meditation is so important. And as you breathe and you watch your thoughts and let it go. But Muji and Eckhart really talk from a place of presence. Very much, this is where the presence is you, and they guide you and direct you into your natural state through guided meditation. But it's not the person meditating. It's not, okay, we're going to take a pose now. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to sit up straight. No, not about that. It's not about the person meditating. It's about you realizing that you are consciousness as your primary true nature. That's the guided meditation that they do. And I also do. Okay, number 12, get into your joy by dancing to music. Put on music and just dance. Feel into your body, allow the music to wash over you. And that's why I love ecstatic dancing. I don't know if anybody's gone to ecstatic dancing, but they put on the music and you are there with many, many people, but you don't really pay any attention to them and they're not paying attention to you. And you're just moving to the music and you're allowing your body to be expressed. And it's so freeing to do that. And you can do that in your own home. You can put on the music and just dance and have, bring up that energy, that joy that's within you. Let it out. Let it out. That's where the freedom is. What we're doing is freeing you from the monkey mind. All these exercises are to free you from your habituated mind pattern that continues to play havoc with your day, because it just does, right? So if you can free yourself from that habituated mind pattern and not identify with it, then your joy is present fully. Then you feel the spaciousness. You say, wow, I'm so quiet in my mind. It's just, it feels like you're free, totally free. And the mind is the jailer, keeping you locked in your cell with habituated thoughts that continue to play out day after day. And they're mostly the same thoughts every day. They say there's about 90% of those thoughts you thought the day before, and you thought the day before that. So, but when you dance, guess what? You get into your joy. You're out of, the mind is not, paying much attention. You're not paying much attention to the mind chatter, right? Because you're in your body dancing. We distract ourselves into a beautiful feeling place away from the mind that tries to distract you, right, from your essential self. So these are little tricks we can have fun with. Okay. And number 13, paint with water. What a cool thing. Oh, number 12. Whatever. Paint with water. The numbers don't mean anything. Paint with water. You can take colored paper and water and a brush, just colored paper, and you can apply water on the paper. And you see the water, right? But you see the colors getting deeper. And it's just fun to see, it's sort of like those scribble paintings that I did with you last week. You just start one end and you just let your brush flow on that paper. Okay. You can also, there's a thing called the Buddha board. I got it as a gift one time. It's very cute. It's a board. It looks like a black board. And then you put water on it and you see where the water, patterns of the water, and then it dries and it disappears. Same thing with the colored paper. It's just going to disappear. And what's so freeing about that is you can't be critical. Haha. The mind that wants to be critical about you doing the pattern on that thing is going to go, wait a second. Why am I so critical? It's gone. I can do it again. I don't have to be so critical. It's just fun. It's just a fun exercise. But we seem to be so critical about everything that if we see ourselves doing that to ourselves, that's called self-abuse, right? You just have to say, look, that's not me. I don't need to listen to that. That's not who I am. I'm having fun here. The brain wants to be weird. Let it be weird. Let it go, right? Don't take what you think seriously. It's not your friend. I'm here to say the mind is not your friend, especially the ego mind that complains and judges. Not your friend. And no, that's all fleeting. So everything that we see, even our minds and our emotions and our sense perceptions, are all fleeting when we observe them. 1 minute we can have a horrible thought and go, why was that thought? And it's gone. But when it gets your attention and you believe it, then you are in trouble. Then you got hooked and it's taking you out of this present moment and it's making you probably not so happy. And now you're going to habituate about it. And you could be thinking about it for who knows how long until you wake up again and say, what did I just do to myself again? So we're talking about being wakeful and realizing that this is what can happen throughout your day. And the more that you are making that decision, choice to wake up, you're going to find more mind storms coming. Yes. Because it all wants your attention. It's like a little child. No, you can't forget me. I'm not going to be erased. No, I am not going away. It can be very stubborn, like a little child, and you're just going to have to be, put distance between you and that thought, and just let it go, and not take it seriously. Don't take it personally, because it's not you. All right. The next one is journal mindfully. Yes. Journaling is a really nice way to sort of, at the end of the day, let's say that you practiced some of these exercises and you realize more and more of your truth, and you want to journal about it at night. You want to say, boy, I was awake, I think, for 2 minutes. I think I was more mindful today. I think that when I went outside and did this, I did feel my sense of spaciousness or whatever you were feeling. So you may journal about it. And it clarifies you. It gives you a little bit more, at the end of the day, more markers to realize. And it does, it's sort of a good thing to look at later on, if you want to read it sometime. I tend not to read my journals because, first of all, it's in the past and I've changed, because I believe that I wasn't the same. I didn't have that habituated way now that I did then. And so I don't have to look backwards. But I can feel good about writing it down so it can help clarify things for me. But I don't need to regurgitate the past by reading it. So, yeah. So that's just me. But you may enjoy it. You may enjoy it. Number 15, garden mindfully. Research shows that digging in the dirt releases happy hormones and has therapeutic effects. So planting herb gardens or flower gardens, doesn't matter how long, as long as you are, it doesn't matter if you do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Or you get into it and you're just swept away by it, just sort of like as an artist in the moment, being so in the moment. Okay. And you're planting and you're feeling so good about it, right? You just and you're waiting for the seeds to grow. But you also can't be too impatient, because it's going to take a while for those seeds to grow. And that's another beautiful thing to say, hey, you know what? I can be patient about this. I can watch it with anticipation, but I don't have to hold on to it. Yeah. Because if you did, you'd be impatient, right? Why aren't you growing? I want you to grow. I put so much work into it. Why aren't you doing it? What did I do? Then you start, what did I do wrong? I didn't give it enough water. No. Don't do that. Don't do any of that craziness. Put that in the soil, enjoy the experience, and be diligent about watering it. Yeah, just enough water. And if you give it your full attention, everything will be great. But again, if you start telling yourself all kinds of things, putting yourself down, I didn't do it right, da, 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 it's not going to be a very fun experience for you. That's for sure. And you may want to then eat the herbs that you grew, which is another beautiful thing. And then you do that eatful mindfulness thing, eat mindful, that piece of lettuce that you grew, and say, oh, I did that. But not from the personal ego. Ego can get into that craziness. I did that. I have the best garden in the neighborhood. No, it's not what we're talking about. We're talking about being beautifully centered and experiencing it with our senses and being alive in it and appreciating it and not having to share the ego trip with anybody else. No. That's what we're avoiding, is the ego mind shatter, right? Okay. So if you're aware that, that's what your mind is doing, just say, no, thank you. That's not me. It's not me. But I see it, but I don't have to listen to it or believe it. Okay. And then you can enjoy the colors of the flowers that you grew. Oh, wow. What a blessing that is, right? Yeah. Nurturing nature. And nature nurtures you too, nurtures you back. All right. Number 16, be an active listener. Oh, this is so crucial. This is so crucial. Be an active listener. Being a good listener is more than just paying attention to another. It is showing that you care. You are expressing yourself. You are, by just being silent, you are showing them that you are paying attention and hearing what they have to say, because people want to be heard and appreciated. And active listening is a gift. So be the gift to others. And you don't have to come up with an answer if they have a question, or you don't have to chime in. Listen fully without thinking of what you want to say in return. Because if you're thinking already of what you want to say back, you haven't heard them, or you're not hearing them very clearly, right? So wait until they're done, pause, and just say, I'm listening, I'm hearing you. Did you want to comment, or I'm just here to, appreciate what you have to say. But if you want me to comment, I will. You don't have to. You don't have to fix anything, and you don't have to, pretty much fix anything. You don't have to say anything at all. Just, they'll appreciate you just being there for them. Try it. Okay. And lead with right action. Leading with right action is so important. Why is that important? Because instead of blurting things out like we tend to do, when we're not paying attention and we're not conscious, we have a thought and we blurt it out. Do we ever say something that hurt somebody's feeling because all of a sudden it was on our mind and it was on our tongue and out it came? That is total unconsciousness, and you don't want to do that. So you want to be mindful of what comes out of your mouth and what actions you do. And the only way that you can fully be in this proper actional, be a person that leads with right action, is to be awake and aware. And you are also aware of other people's comments to you and how they react to you. And sometimes they're not so kind because they're not awake. So what do? Don't take it personally. Just know that they're not at a place of consciousness, and they probably won't even remember it in the morning. It's sort of like an alcoholic could take it to them. I didn't remember anything I said. And I didn't say that to you. And you go, yeah, you did. I wish I had a recording. Yes, you did. You said that. Because you're awake and you hear what they have to say. And sometimes they are not, and they blurt things out. That can be hurtful if you take it personally. Okay. But again, you know better than that. So we're almost at this segment. Oh, we didn't even do a commercial. I'm just blabbing at the mouth. No, I hope that you are listening and really, writing notes down, or maybe you want to hear this again on your streaming platforms, and maybe try one or two a day, or just one a day. How about that? Just one a day. Yeah, would be good. I'm looking at some comments here. Did you know if you pray or talk good over your water, it changes the water molecules? Yes, it does. There was a book written on that. Yes, I love that. And absolutely true. They showed that if you put love into, if you held a glass of water and you just poured love into it, they froze it, right? It was gorgeous crystallized. It was crystallizing in gorgeous patterns. But when they did hate, anger, it was all fragmented and it looked terrible. Yeah. So yes, we are energy, and we put out energy and receive energy. So mindfulness is all about, where are you in right action, in right speech, in your uh, in your energy towards people, and how you feel in the moment, and how directed you are. That's so important. So yeah, gardening is my therapy, somebody else said. Yes. Well, if you have any comments or any questions for me, we are going to now slip into a beautiful segment of our show that we're just starting out doing. And I'm going to invite Todd, my producer, to join me here. Todd, are you there? There
Hi,
you are.
Lynda.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Good, good. So what of these, 15, 16, I don't know how many, did you really relate to?
Oh, my goodness. Well, several. Eating
Okay.
mindful is one that I need to work on, and definitely need some tips on that, because I am one. Sometimes I'll have to eat in a rush, or
Yeah.
I just have to fill time, or this and that. How can I be a better conscious eater? I guess is, how can I slow myself down to do that?
Well, again, giving yourself more time. I mean, to rush all of a sudden, if I have to grab and go, you won't have time,
Hmm.
because you're going to be thinking about where you have to be, right? Some people are binge eaters, right? They don't even know that they've eaten a box of candy or cookies, because they're watching TV and they're right, and they go, "Oh my God, I already ate it," because they're not aware. So it's best to maybe make yourself a sandwich, or give yourself more time by preparing food ahead of time, so
Okay.
that when you do have a moment to eat, you make it an alert moment. You give yourself, you can eat very mindfully in 2 minutes or 3 minutes, by just, as I was mentioning, take that bite into your mouth, maybe even close your eyes, experience the taste of it, um, how it feels in your mouth, chewing it, digesting it, and try for the first maybe 3 bites to fully engage yourself in that experience. And that also includes smelling it, feeling it, and then putting it in your mouth, and then letting it just go down your throat into your stomach, and see that, like, visualize it in your mind how it's going down into your stomach, and then sit there for a minute in between bites. Just sit and notice the silence in between the bites, and and then do that just for maybe whatever minutes you can allow yourself to do it, because whatever we can allow ourselves to do it helps us with other activities we do during the day, because we are reprogramming our mind, our sense of self. We're really looking at the mind as the uh, for what it is, that it
Right.
clips us from our essential nature. And it's not who we are. We have to realize that our ego mind, is not who we are. And once we realize that,
Wow.
I think you just realized that. What a light bulb.
it's it's about being in the moment, and it's so hard
Yeah,
to stay there, and to be like you talked about earlier, being consciousness. What is it? You know,
right.
I mean, it is everything, right?
That's who you
We
are.
we we get stuck. I mean, I get stuck in my subconscious mind, I
Right.
think.
Well, the subconscious runs the show too. When we're not conscious of going throughout our day, it's the subconscious mind that really is the program until we wake up and we realize, why am I reacting that way? Or why am I going there when I don't want to go there? Or do what I
Mhm.
want to do? Why do I have to? Why am I getting up for work and I don't want to get up for work? And he's like,
Exactly.
right. And it's our program. So it's sort of like the matrix. We are in the matrix. We are the form within this program. And until we realize that we're not the program, that we're consciousness behind the lens of perception, looking at our form, doing the action, but we are not doing anything.
Wow.
We are still.
And
We
that
are,
makes sense.
right? Yes. We're not the person trying to be still.
Right.
We're consciousness observing the person in the activity. We're the stillness. It's sort of like if you're looking at a movie screen, you're not the action on the screen, right? But we get caught up in the movie where we sort of become the part of the character, you know, we believe we're a superhero or
Mhm.
and then we walk out of the movie and we feel all pumped up and looking around for spaceships. That's how I was. Wow, I
Yeah.
felt so pulled into that movie, like, oh my, I've become the character. And that's what people do. They don't know it, but they all of a sudden they go, why am I being aggressive? Or why am I this? Because I'm watching an aggressive show on television. Why am I swearing all of a sudden when I'm hearing all this swearing going on the television? Do you know
Mhm.
why advertisers can sell you things? Because they know you are habituated and they can sell you anything because you're going to latch onto it and they know how to push your buttons. That's
Yeah.
their secret. But if you're awake, you go, they're just trying to push my buttons. I don't want to buy that. What do I need that for?
And
Right?
that's so true. Impulsive like that, impulsive
Impulsive.
things because we're not in the present moment. I
That's right.
have done that many times late at night, bought many fishing lure sets and things that I didn't need because
Uh-huh.
I wasn't in the moment.
Yes. That's right. And when a
Mm.
commercial comes on wanting to sell you something, and all of a sudden you pick up the phone and you're buying the product, like the jewelry station, my girlfriend loves that. But she has to not do that because she really likes to buy that stuff. There's like you're addicted to this, you binge watch. Why do we binge watch? Because it gets us out of the present moment. And it's not good for us. And it's something that when we realize that we're doing it, we can stop, but we're not awake if we continue to do it, right?
Mhm.
So we have to stop and go, wait a second. Wait, what am I doing here? Why am I allowing the program to take me out of the present moment?
Exactly. A person looks at that as a release, but
Yes.
yet I don't watch television anymore for that reason, I think, because it took me out of reality.
Mm,
It just sucked me in. And I think I've, from watching you and the other shows and things, learned a lot to try and stay more present and
mhm.
staying away from television. The news, especially, really helped me out.
Yes.
And I'm trying to keep myself grounded. Is there anything I can do as far as a quick grounding exercise?
Absolutely. The breath is always the best place. The breath, because it stops you from thinking. When you focus, what I love is the exercise where you take in a breath and you pause before you take the out breath. You just sort of hold the breath and you feel the space between the inhale and the exhale. And then you go all the way out and you stop again and you see that space between the exhale and the inhale, and then you take the inhale breath. And so it really focuses you.
Hmm.
It's just not like just take a breath, right? you really have to be alert to where is that end breath and where do I take the next breath
I see.
and the next breath. And then, so you're following that. It's really distracting you from that mind chatter. It really is. Yeah.
I can see how that would pull you out and put you back where you need to be, right on the path. The breathing, just the little things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the little things. That's all there is. The breath, the holding in, I'm putting your hand on your heart too, and maybe feeling your heartbeat and just focusing in here. And what I find to be very helpful is also to feel an expansiveness in your heart. Just feel your heart with energy. The heart energy that you have fills, they say, football fields. That energy is incredible. And we don't really see it, right? We don't realize it. But the more you love, the more you feel love. And I tell you, it works every time when I'm sitting on the couch and I'm looking at my cat and I feel my heart space open up. That cat turns around and looks at me. It's freaky, but it is. And that
Mhm.
cat comes and jumps on my lap where it would normally just walk right by me.
Wow.
So animals feel and are sensitive, just like a dog. They'll feel your friendliness, right? But they're alert. They're alert to energy because they don't have the mind shadow that we have. They're totally present. That's why when you're around a dog, you're petting the dog or a cat, you feel how present they are and you are now present with them. So
Right.
that's another thing that'll bring you into awareness is petting your cat, petting your dog, holding your baby, looking in the baby's eyes, you know, or even, just close your eyes and just tune in into your body, and just take note of like that relaxation thing that I said, just tune in. Anytime you can tune into your body, the mind will slow down. Yeah. So those are just some suggestions.
Sorry for all the bells and whistles there.
There's bells and whistles.
The noises.
Oh, I don't hear it.
Okay, good.
Hmm. Yeah. And did we have any other questions from other people did you have other questions that people wrote in about?
Well, we've got one here. Can all of us achieve the awakened presence you talk about?
Can all of it?
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, is it obtainable?
we are that. It's so once you realize that you think you're only a person, that's where people get hooked. They feel they're the person and there's nothing beyond that, and the person has to be a better person, has to learn all these things in life and blah blah blah, whatever that is. But they don't realize that their truer nature or their deeper dimension of themselves is consciousness. That's it. So it has not. Would you repeat the question?
Can all of us achieve the awakened presence?
Because achievement is the person, right? People want to achieve, they want to do, they want to, overcome, they want to struggle. It's not about achieving anything because you already are that. You were born conscious. The baby that you look at knows it's conscious. It's all it is. It doesn't know its name. It doesn't know your name. It doesn't know what's above it, below it, inside of it. It is just present. It is just knowing, just looking around like, wow, doesn't name anything, is just there. So that is who you were born essentially. And because you forgot it, because all of a sudden you were given a name and you were given parents that wanted to, teach you all kinds of things about being a person, and you learned how not to be silent anymore. You had to learn how to survive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the stillness that we are that is connected to the divine, that we are in that place of the divine as oneness consciousness. That's who we all are. And when we realize that in another and that person realizes that in you, you're in that oneness consciousness place. And there's nothing more glorious than that. Because beyond this body mind, when this body mind goes, this eternal presence will be eternally with universal consciousness.
I love that. That makes so much sense.
And yet the mind won't understand it.
It
right?
won't let it
Won't let
just,
it in. No.
yeah.
You got to, the mind is going to play, little tricks on you because it's wanting to convince you that that's wrong and to listen to that, because the ego mind does not like to be erased. Oh, we're at 8 o'clock. But this was an amazing conversation.
Wow.
Thank you.
Talk about being in the moment.
We could do this for another hour. We wouldn't realize.
That was excellent.
Yeah, exactly. So all of you listening, thank you. Thank you. And Todd, thank you. And please send the questions in. We'd love to have conversations with you as we go forward. And thank you for our new time slot. Yeah. So you're the best, Todd. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for all listening. This is Moment to Moment. I'll see you next week. My name is Lynda Hope. Blessings.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.